Good, beautiful morning, everybody. Silas back today, and I mean it. It is beautiful out here. I love this time of year when it's a little bit cool in the mornings. You got to wear a jacket or a coat, but by the middle of the day, it's just super nice. The birds are chirping, not much of a breeze, which is nice because it's been super windy for the last week. I debated and debated and debated about whether or not I was going to get the camera out today. I've actually been taking a break from recording, which you guys won't see a break because I stage my videos out once a week. I'm hoping to get, by the time this comes out, maybe I'll be doing 2 videos a week again. I don't know, it's just crazy right now. It's hard for me to edit that much. But anyway, I almost didn't get the camera out, but then I decided, you know, there's some somewhat interesting stuff going on today, so I'll go ahead and get it out. And I can't get this door to open. First up on the agenda, I got this old International in, this old school bus. I was trying to get the door open, and I don't know, I guess I'll have to climb in the back door maybe. This thing's just gonna be scrap. In fact, I might see what all's in the dumpster. If there's not too much in the dumpster, I may fire up the excavator and go ahead and come out here and rip this thing apart. Looks like it's got some toilets in it. I'll have to throw in the trash. There we go. Okay, now we're in business. What do we got in here? Got some toilets. Is this a GM or a Mopar wheel? That's a Mopar wheel there. It's an old Rally. It's a decent piece. Got an old sink on some wooden legs. That's kind of a neat piece. I'll probably sell that. Junk refrigerator. You know, somebody might want this old stove. I know fixing up old campers and RVs and whatnot is getting to be kind of popular. And that's an old original stove there. But I don't know, it may not be worth anything. Oh, check this out. That's kind of a neat wall sconce. I'll definitely save that. Probably not worth a ton of money, but probably worth something maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Nothing in the cabinets. Nothing in there. What else we got? Don't really see much. Got a set of gauges in it. What is this? That's kind of neat. I've never seen that before. That's actually really cool. I'm guessing that's some sort of indicator that shows you what lights are on your bus. That way you can just look up as you're driving and see what's on. I don't know. Anything in there? No. It's got the Carpenter bus dome lights in it. Those will sell. So I guess there's some parts on this, so we may not get around to tearing this up today. Yeah, it's got all 6 of the dome lights, and they're all the original Carpenters. So yeah, that's some good stuff there. So yeah, maybe we won't get around to scrapping this out today. I do want to cut the nose off of it as well, which I can rip the body off without hurting the nose, so that's not an issue, but there's a lot of other good stuff in here. So maybe we'll just set this aside, worry about it another day. Let's get back out of here, and I'll go show you the next vehicle. The last video I recorded was the one of that auction. I'm not sure what order the videos are going to come out in though, so maybe that video will already be out a long time ago. I don't know. But anyway, I have the Ranchero and a truck bed trailer still left out there. Guy's supposed to bring those. I think he said, I think he's going to do that tomorrow, so I guess that won't be today. Never mind. But I did have another guy just drop this off last night. I wasn't here. He sent me some pictures of it and said he had just bought it. Rather than take it home, he could just bring it to me. So I said, okay, go ahead. Whew, that was loud. It's not in too bad a shape. It's pretty well solid up in here. It does have some rust back here in the cab corners, but there's no rust above the windshield. Good and solid there. Good and solid floors in it. There we go. This fender here is kind of messed up, it looks like, but it's not rusted in the eyebrows. This side, this fender's got a little bit of rust down at the bottom, not bad. And then this cab corner here looks like it had a rat nest in it and it rusted out, which is typical. But you can get cab corners and you can get the fender corners. You can get all this stuff for these, but it's just a lot of work to replace this stuff up in here, the structural stuff. Yeah, it's got a nice dash in it, real nice dash. But the one of the main things on these is up here in the roof. They rust out up here in the corners, above the windshield, in the back corners. This in here is all good, and that's you can replace all that stuff, but it's just a lot of work to do. Cab corners, fender corners, they're not structural, so they're not that big of a deal to replace. I don't know what motor's in it. When I put the camera down, I'll find out. It's a V8. All the spark plug wires got eaten off of it. I wonder if it turns. I bet it's the original V8. What year is this truck? This would be a 57, 56, somewhere around there. I bet it's the original 283 that's in this. Oh yeah, it turns good, has compression. I bet that motor fires right up and runs. It does have colored valve covers though. Looks like they've been painted, so it may not be the original engine. I'll find something to scrape the pad off here in a little bit. Yeah, I think that one there, that cabin front clip will make somebody a nice little piece. Very buildable. There's supposed to be a guy here in a little bit to pick up that 366, but today's agenda is I got these set out yesterday. I was out here doing quite a bit of work, moving stuff around. Didn't record any of it though, but I got these set out, and I think I have 1, 2, 3 more out back, and then I think 1, 2, 3 more over that direction. So I got to get all that stuff gathered up. Kind of a confusing deal. I was crushing these in cars and it wasn't an issue, and then I talked to them and they said, oh, last spring I guess it was, so about a year ago, and they said to keep them separate they would pay me extra for them. So I said okay, so I dug them all out. Now finally, I guess it's been a year, so it's my fault, and I said okay, I'm ready, and they said okay, they'll be $20 less than cars. And I said hold up, I thought they were going to be like $30 or $40 more than cars. And so we kind of had a little conversation about it, and they finally said they would guarantee me car price for them. If the motors come off easily, they'll pay me a little bit extra. So not as good as it was going to be, but like I say, it's my fault for taking a year. But that's what we're going to do. I'm going to fire up the equipment and we'll dig out the rest of those and get them brought up here. Well, I've got a bit of a situation here now. I can't pick the bus up, it's too heavy. It's heavier than I thought it was going to be. It's probably somewhere in the neighborhood of around 7 tons. So I'm not sure what to do. I would just pull it off the back, but I can't get his ramps down because it's too far back. He didn't pull it far enough or set it on there far enough forward. He loaded it with a great big loader. They just set it on there, but I can't do the same. And so I would shove the bus forward, but the tires are all flat, and so it doesn't roll very easy. And I don't want to collapse his legs on this thing. So I'm kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. I think what I'm going to do, only thing I can think to do is go ahead and let his legs in all the way down to the ground. And that way it's not flexing on him. You can see they're already flexing a little bit. Let his legs all the way down, and that way I think then I can shove it forward, get his ramps down, and then pull it back off the back. It'll be kind of a challenge because I'm sure the tires aren't going to stay straight. So I'm going to have to jump in and out of the loader, turning the steering wheel to get it off of there, but I don't know what else to do. I couldn't be here when he dropped the trailer off yesterday. I got so much going on this week, it's unreal. So I have stuff going on every single evening, so I can't be here to meet people. So I guess we'll figure it out. We'll get it done one way or another. There we go. I was a little bit sketchy there a couple times. I was worried about those tires going sideways and it flopping off the side of the trailer. But we got it. I had to adjust the tires a couple times. But not that big of a deal. It rolled right off. The reason why he didn't just roll it off himself is, number one, the tires are flat, but he could have got those aired up, but he thought it wouldn't fit and it was going to bottom out on his trailer there at the back where it bends. But it didn't even get close to that. It was, I mean, I got close to that, but it was still 3 or 4 inches away from it. So it would have rolled off just fine if he would have rolled it off, and he wouldn't have had to wait on me and wouldn't have had to leave his trailer here or nothing. But oh well, we got her off of there. Probably a 345. Yeah, I put it in gear so I could set it down and readjust. So we'll put it back in neutral because I cannot pick this thing up. So I will have to spin the front end around and just pick it up from the front like I do and wheel it around where it's going to go. Although honestly, since I am probably just going to go ahead and scrap this thing, I'll probably just wheel it over here by the fence somewhere back up in the corner, and that way next time I feel like messing with it, I can go ahead and cut the nose off of it and rip the body off of it. But with that, I think I'm just about done at this yard. I'm going to have to run to the other yard and do some stuff over there, so I'll see you guys there. There we go, got this old wagon out. We saved this car from a demolition derby guy years ago. He was gonna derby it. It ran and drove, but it smoked really bad. And so it's been sitting for a while now. I'm sure it's gonna need a bunch of wiring under the hood from mice and whatnot. It used to have some really cool, you can kind of see the remnants of it, guards or sun guards or whatever you want to call them in the windows. They've pretty well fallen out of it now. This is actually going to the guy that has bought quite a few vehicles from me. He's from up north. You guys will recognize him when he gets here. But he's buying another car from me, and it's just as easy for him to pull a 2-car trailer as it is a single car. So he asked about this car, and so we worked out a deal. I didn't know if I was going to have time to dig it out or not. He's going to be here next week, but as you can see, it wasn't that buried. I just didn't know if I'd have time to come over here at all, but I did. So we got that done. He's also buying the nose off of a truck from me. It's cut off already. It's down there. So we'll load the cars at my place first, and then we'll come back over here. But that may or may not be in this video. But I've got to go help do some concrete work now. I've got to load some concrete in a dumpster. So do that, grab the skid steer, and then go back to my place. I got to thinking about this bus last night, and I put it on a bunch of truck pages and bus pages on Facebook. Had a bunch of people ask about it. I told them all $1,500, and they all wanted to know if they could drive it back home to Timbuktu. And I said, no, you can't drive it back home. And they all told me that I was absolutely crazy for asking $1,500 for an old bus that doesn't run. So I figured, you know what, it ain't even worth the hassle. I'm gonna go ahead and junk it out. So I'm gonna pull the front clip off of it for art, and I'm gonna pull all the parts off the inside that I mentioned yesterday, go ahead and get it stripped out as much as I want to get off of it. Then I'm going to fire up the excavator and go ahead and rip apart the body and pack it in the iron box. While I was taking the bus apart, I got this old truck and this Corvair in, and they were a little bit too heavy for me to pick them up together, so I had to lift the car off first. Then once I got it off of there, I was able to pick the truck up no problem. There's a chrome grill on the truck and a few other parts. Other than that, I'll probably scrap it, and same thing with the Corvair, just a few odds and end pieces, but I bought them for scrap price pretty much, so not a big deal. There we go. Got most of the trash out of here. There's a little bit of cabinets left up there in the front, but they'll be okay. I'm trying to debate if I want to go ahead and fire the excavator up and start working on this today, or if I want to work on pulling the grill out of that old Ford truck over there. I haven't decided which I want to do. But I think I already have all my tools out, so I think I'm going to go ahead and finish processing the old Ford truck. And then on Friday when I'm back out here, I'll go ahead and rip this apart. And then I'm going to take the chassis off of this and what's left of the Ford, stack them together on my big trailer. And as long as I get it all done in time, and I'm going to haul them in to the claw. There we go. I had to cut that bolt into chunks, but I think, oh, forgot the wiring. Okay, I got to cut the wiring, but then after that, this grill is off. I'll tell you what, getting this instrument cluster out of here, this truck is nasty, so I'm trying to be really careful about it. I just about got it. It's cooperating pretty good. I was gonna pull some more dash parts out of it, but I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm just gonna save the instrument cluster and call it good. Okay, I went ahead and saved the radio bezel and the radio knobs as well. I would normally save that radio. That's about a $40 radio, but I'm not going to mess with it. It's probably no good anyway. Shockingly, all the wiring that was on the back of that instrument cluster is all still good. They didn't eat it like I thought they would. So this might be a raccoon nest rather than a rat nest. No, judging by that right there, this is definitely a rat nest vehicle. So I don't know why they didn't eat the wiring, but they didn't. So that should be a pretty valuable piece. Broke my screwdriver, but that's okay. I'll leave it in there. I'm just about done with this truck. I'm going to pull the emblems off. If they cooperate, I'll have to go get another screwdriver. Then after that, I believe I just got to make sure the fuel tank's empty. And then this one here is ready to go on to the crusher, or the shredder. I'm not going to bother cutting the bed off of this one like I do sometimes. You guys have seen me do. The bus does have a 345 in it that still turns. So we'll see. I'm going to try to rip the body off to where I can get to the bolts pretty easy. If I can do that, then I'll go ahead and save the motor, but otherwise we'll just go ahead and leave it on here. I sold that 72 Dodge, so I set it out there so he can come get it tonight. I ended up pulling all the chrome trim, the headliner trim and the windshield trim off that truck as well. I got the emblems somewhere. Where did I put? Oh, right here. So got quite a bit of stuff off that old F600. There's a few pieces left, but like I said, I'm not going to deal with that rat nest to get them. So I'm going to get all this stuff put in the semi-trailer. I got it all marked what it came off of, so we'll get it listed on eBay another day. The time has come. I've got the excavator right here. We're going to make this bus go away. And there we go. That came right apart, no problem at all. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and cut the frame and just go ahead and save the engine and the whole front half of the frame rather than unbolt it, just because not the front half, but you know, this is the front little section up there, because I don't feel like pulling that engine right now. And you say, why is that? And why are you in your truck right now? It's because I am frozen. I am frozen to the core. We've been having some crazy weather here in Kansas. We had tornadoes all day yesterday all over the state. We didn't have any here, just a little bit of rain here and there. And it's been crazy, crazy windy. When I filmed last Wednesday of pulling this stuff apart, or starting on it anyway, it was nice outside. It was windy, but it was just really nice outside. Well, then we had some 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts, and the tornadoes yesterday, and then it rained last night. And then this morning when I left the house, it was about 55 degrees, and it wasn't bad. So I just threw on a jacket, and luckily I had this in the truck. I was able to switch out from my hat. So it is definitely on the chilly side, and I am not dressed for it at all. But I do have a little bit of junk laying around on the ground that I'm gonna have to pick up. And then I think I have my blades here. I don't know if I have them here or if they're at the other place. I'm in the midst of moving right now, which that'll be more about that on the second channel. But anyway, all my stuff is in total disarray. I'm not even on my normal camera right now. I'm on a different one because I can't find my normal camera. Woke up Saturday morning and said, today's the day we're moving. And so we had a bunch of people come over, multiple trucks and trailers, and I said, everything's got to go, just grab it and go. And so we took everything and went, and now I don't know where anything's at. But anyway, I couldn't leave if I wanted to. I've got a guy going to be here in about 15 minutes with the car, and then I have a guy going to be here in about 2 hours with the car. So I'm stuck here no matter what happens. Okay, these are the doors. I don't know if I can do this one-handed or not. There we go. Whew. It's kind of hard to carry this one hand. I'm not going to be able to talk to you. Just a second. There we go. Got that door set over there. A little bit heavier than I wanted to carry with one hand. But FOMO Power's Garage is here again. I'll put a deal on the screen. Let you know you can go check out his YouTube channel if you'd like. But he's here picking up that old rusty LTD. He needs a bunch of parts off of that. And he's also picking up those van doors and a set of mirrors and a set of wheels. A few things that I have here at this location. And then we've got to go to the other yard and he's picking up another car and a couple more things over there. This old car is super rusty. The frame's rotted out. It actually had a car sitting on top of it. If you watch my videos, you probably remember it. This is one of the ones I hauled when everything was covered in snow. But he needs the disc brakes off the front of it and the 9-inch rear end. They're the exact size that he needs for another project. If he was to buy just those pieces, he would pay about what he's giving me for the whole car. And so he's going to take it home, pull those out for himself. He says he already has the deck lid sold, and I'm sure he'll be able to sell quite a few more parts off of it. So when it's all said and done, honestly, he'll probably wind up getting the parts that he needs for himself for free. And that's the way I like to do it too. So I made him a pretty good deal on that car there. But he brought me a present. Let's check these out real quick. Some tow trucks. He made a post on Facebook the other day, and he had this truck right here. It's like an early 60s Chevy tow truck. It's a Hubley, I think. Yeah, Hubley. And then he had this Dodge as well. I have some of these Dodges, but this one here's in really good shape still. But I really wanted that Chevy. And then he said he found a few more. Here's a Matchbox. And I'm not sure what this is. Is this a Matchbox? Not sure what brand these are, but they're still pretty neat. I like old tow trucks, stuff like that. So I'll put those in my collection. I'll trade them something. Maybe I'll give them those van doors for all these or something like that. It's definitely good to have some nicer weather today. It's chilly, it's in the 20s, but there's no wind and it's sunny, so it doesn't feel that bad. Yesterday, the only thing I recorded all day long was loading that International motor. While he's pulling some parts, I'm just going around taking pictures of stuff. This is stuff for sale. I saved all this stuff and I've sold a bunch of it, but I need to get better about actually advertising this stuff. It would sell a whole lot better if I would actually spend more time advertising. So I took some pictures of some of this old farm type stuff. What's really cool is now having this bicycle right here. If you guys watch the second channel, I'm sure you've already seen this thing. This thing has been super handy. I really like this thing. If you're interested in something like this, they're very affordable. I'll put a link in the description. I do not regret getting this bicycle at all. It's been a great thing for out here at the junkyard. We got everything loaded up at that yard. He's backing in now. He is over here to pick up this wagon right here that you may have saw me dig out. I don't remember which video that was in. Maybe it might have even been this video. Everything runs together after a while. Sometimes these videos that I put out, I record them over the course of a week or a week and a half. And sometimes it only takes me an hour to record a video. You just never know. Depends on what I'm doing. There we go. Loaded up, ready to make the long trek back. And good morning, everybody. I am out here. It may look a little bit different, and that's because I'm on a different camera. I ran off and left my camera at home, so actually right now I'm just using my phone as a camera. That's what happens when you stay up all night editing video. You don't get much sleep, and then you forget stuff the next day. But life goes on. Right now I am working on pulling the hybrid battery out of this Camry. I think this is a 2009. I'm not sure what the value is on these batteries for cores. I know on eBay, guaranteed working ones sell for around $1,200 or $1,300. However, I don't feel like shipping this one, so I'm not going to sell it on eBay. I know it's good. This car actually still runs and drives. It's just totaled out really hard in the front, and they just had liability insurance on it, so it wasn't worth fixing. And it's got like 280,000 miles on it, so pretty high miles. I know these Toyotas go longer than that, but I'm not going to mess with saving the engine. However, I can't crush it without pulling that battery anyway, so I figured I might as well go ahead and pull it out and try to sell it. I don't know if I'll sell it to a core buyer or if I'll actually sell it to somebody to maybe use in their car or something like that. Whew, that was a challenge. That is not supposed to be lifted by one person, especially as awkward as it is, and you can't just drop it go tear it up. So I got it. Not what I wanted to do, but I got it. But now I've got to lock this up real quick and head to the other yard. I completely forgot that I was supposed to dummy lock the gate. They're bringing me some rock over there so we can take the crusher back over there. Normally I drive right by there, and today I actually had to go the other direction when I left the house, and so I didn't do that. That'll work great for filling in this area right here where it's always so muddy, because I think when we bring the crusher back we're going to put it in a different spot. That's why I cleaned this whole area out back when it was super snowy and cold, as we plan on putting the crusher there instead of over there where it used to be. That way it's easier to get in and out of here. There we go, got that taken care of. I just talked to the company that picked up the dumpster that had the bus in it. I've been waiting on that to close this video out so I could tell you what it weighed. We had 10,820 pounds in that dumpster. I did have probably about 300 pounds of other stuff in that dumpster already, but I pulled the front clip off the bus, so that probably kind of equals out for that. And then also I still have the front half of that frame section there that has the front axle, the motor, the transmission, all that stuff. So that's probably around 2,500 pounds or so. And then I took probably 500 pounds, give or take, of stuff out of the bus that I kept. Like that one sink is pretty heavy, and I kept a wheel and a tire and just odds and ends miscellaneous parts, the radiator. So when it's all said and done, that bus did weigh almost 14,000 pounds when it was complete, which is right about what I figured. But anyway, 10,820 pounds of scraps so far. There will be another probably 1,500 pounds of scrap for that axle and frame section and all that. I am going to save the motor. It did turn over good. I think I may actually have it sold already, but if it's not marked sold on the screen when you see it, that means it's still available if you're interested. But yeah, anyway, I did try to sell that bus for around $1,500 on a couple bus pages and some old truck pages. Camper conversions. I thought somebody might want it for that since it was pretty much rust free. But when it's all said and done, counting what I sold the front clip for and what I'll get out of the motor and then the scrap value and then all the other parts I pulled off of it, I've already sold most of those. When you add all that up, it's going to be about $2,000, maybe actually a little bit more than that. So as usual, I was trying to lose money to see it saved, but nobody else wanted to see it saved. I didn't have room to sit on that thing for very long anyway. It pretty much just had to go. I did give it a little bit of time. I wish I could have gave it more time, but you know, you can't do it all. And plus, like I say, I made an extra $500, $600, $700 anyway, so no sense crying over that. But with that, I have a boatload of errands I have to go run, so I'm going to let y'all go. I didn't make it to the claw with that truck, but that will be in the next video probably. I'm thinking probably tomorrow I'll hook up to the trailer and load that truck on there and go ahead and haul that in there, get it out of the way. Plus, I think I'm going to go ahead and start crushing a bunch of cars, crush one more load out of there. I keep saying one more load, and one more load ends up turning into one more load. But now that we're getting rock in here, he'll be done with the rock here today. I'll be able to level this out either tomorrow or next week. And then we'll get the crusher moved back in here, and then I'll start crushing at this yard again. But if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. As always, I hope you have an absolutely fantastic rest of your day. And remember to get out there, find yourself an adventure. We'll see you on the next one.